I started off by drawing my lines of my ornaments with my black edible marker from Amazon. Next, you're going to do every other ornament. I added greenery to the top by drawing lines with my green icing. You can practice on parchment paper beforehand if you're not comfortable with that. And then you're going to let that crust over for 15 minutes in front of a fan or a dehydrator. Once that crust over, go ahead and do the rest of the ornaments. I then went in with a lighter green to fill in the greenery at the top. As you can see, it's spread a little bit, but don't worry about that. I added berries to tie it together at the end. My stocking, I went in with my black edible pen and I drew where I wanted my candy cane to go. And then I took my red and white icing and used the wet on wet method to make my stripes. I let that crust over and then I went in with my green and used lines again to make it look like pine. And then I let that crust over and then I went in with the lighter green and added some more details. After I let that crust over again, I went in and did the red stocking and then added a few more details because I messed up the edge a little bit, and I added little dots as berries at the top. For the wreath, I followed the motion of the cookie and I drew lines and went in and filled in little tiny leaves with my darkest green icing. I let that crust over and then I went in with the lighter green and repeated the same process and crusted that over again and added little berries for final details. Santa took the most work. I looked at the picture online of where I got the cookie cutter and I freehanded where I wanted the icing to go, and then I went in with my red icing and let that crust over before I went on to do the boots and the beard. I then went in with the pink to do his little toy sack to tie in all of the colors, and I went ahead and let that crust over as well before I moved on to do the other parts of him so the colors wouldn't smear all together. I went and got some decorative sugar to add to where his boots and his jacket and his hat have texture to add a little detail so you can tell the difference between his hat and his beard and his jacket. For the eyes, I went back in with my edible marker and drew 2 little dots and then added some final details to him and let it all crust over. And here is the final result of all the cookies.